Hello everybody and welcome back. So, hey Dawn Seeker, hey Code and Assembly, good to see you both. Oh man. So the video is posted, it's just gonna come out tomorrow morning. Mostly because I wasn't happy with the thumbnail and I'm still not happy with it and I'm probably gonna end up redoing it before I get to my next video, unfortunately. But I wanted to get the video out and it's out, so. Thumbnail's just kind of meh, it's not my best work, I want to work on that, so we'll see. Worst part is I was going to have to spend today working on a thumbnail for this video so I could have a different one with me like standing with a hat and the new bow. But hey, it's good to see you both. So the Dragonheart review is out and we will be moving on to the next thing. I only hope it does not take me as long to make. I say that about everything now. It feels like every time I say something now, it's like, I swear the next I'm going to get back my, every other week or every week schedule eventually. And then I just get further away from it. It feels so painful. It is good to see you both, though. So we're continuing on Monster Hunter Wilds, and as you can see, I look absolutely fabulous. Look at this. Look at this bow. This absolutely ridiculous outfit. I literally did like 4 or 5 little side missions where I just killed the monster, some of the monsters I did a few more times to get the rest of the gear. And this is what I look like now. I am fabulous.
Head for Knopf as soon as possible. Are you all set on supplies?
Nice. I know, right? I think that if I remember correctly, the video ended up being cut down a little bit from 30 minutes. It's actually like 27, but it's basically 30 minutes long. It took a while to upload. It took like 30 minutes to upload, actually.
Everyone, we're leaving.
I think it's because I exported it as a 4K video, even though I don't really think I use any 4K footage in it. It's all just 1080p, so I probably should have just uploaded it as a 1080p video. That's my bad. Also, I was gonna actually upload it earlier today because I had actually exported it last night, but then I was double checking it before it went live, and I realized that the audio from the movie stuff was like way off, like way too quiet compared to my normal voice, and so I had to go back in and change all of the volume. Essentially, I had to change the audio volume for all of those clips, which was what I did today. So that's why it's going to come out tomorrow morning, because I don't really want it. I don't want it to like go live, at 8 o'clock at night. I'll have it go live in the morning for a better viewership. Also, we got another subscriber, which is nice. I'm not sure why somebody subscribed while nothing is getting posted, but maybe they like the streams. Who knows? How have you guys been though? As you can see, I've been busy. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do one of my fun new things. I found out that you can hit up and it'll just ride for you. I'm not hitting any buttons right now. I can just hit the up arrow and it'll follow the path. I wish I had known about this earlier. It'll even follow it to the boss monster, which I honestly wonder why it does that though, because it feels like exploring the level and having to find the monster is like half the fun of these games. I don't think they had something like this in Monster Hunter World, because I remember that you had these like big open levels a lot of time for that one. So it's a little weird that you can just hit a thing for auto move. I'm not sure if it was any of the other Monster Hunter games. Like I said, I've only played Monster Hunter World, and I know that one was somewhat different, being like very much more of an open world game than a lot of the other ones.
Watch yourselves now.
Ooh. You gotta admit, this game does look good. Then again, like, half its appeal is killing ridiculously over-the-top monsters, looking amazing in fashion made from their skin, and also delicious foods cutscenes. So, like, of course the graphics look good. The gameplay wouldn't pop as much without it. It is. I think Monster Hunter really does define the kind of game that like the graphics kind of make it entirely pop. One of the benefits of posting regularly, people can watch your backlogs that post semi-regularly and subscribe because of that. Say you post semi-regularly and subscribe because of that, yeah. Well, I actually have a backlog full of videos that I actually feel at least some videos I feel proud of now, like really proud of. Both of the vampire ones I'm proud of. I'm like the Scooby-Doo one. Actually, one of the things I actually have been thinking about, and it's so I'm going to talk about How to Train Your Dragon separately, but Lilo and Stitch is also going to come out, and I've kind of come to the realization that Disney's live-action remakes are kind of pointless to talk about on their own. Okay? They are. They just are. Kid, you are like a defenseless child. Do not try to fight the giant lightning monster. So I'm just going to do what I did for the Scooby-Doo when Velma came out. And I'm just going to talk about something infinitely better. The originals. So I think that's what I'm going to do now, is every time Disney releases one of their live-action remakes, I'm going to talk about one of their classic movies instead, and tell people where they can actually go watch the classic one. Don't go watch the live-action trash. Watch the original. Back when Disney still had something resembling a soul. Good stuff. And I'm not sure when the Snow White one... I'm not sure if I'm going to do Snow White. Because although Snow White is, like, the classicest of classic Disney movie, like, you know, it's the one, the colored one, the first one. It's also just not my vibe, usually. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel like I have to review it because Maleficent's there. Although it's ironic... I don't get why they're doing a Snow White movie, because they kind of already did a Snow White live action adaptation. And it was an actual adaptation, not a remake. It's called Maleficent, and it was good. Not really my taste. I know, but like, Maleficent was actually good, so I don't understand why they've decided to make, you know, to make this whole thing where it's like, oh, now we're doing another live action movie. It's like, didn't you guys already do a live action remake? You did Deconstruction. It was actually the most interesting thing you've done with this whole gimmick. And now they're like, nah, we need to get the generic one out of the way. And I'm just like, okay, sure, whatevs. Oh, look, its power corrupted the monster, I guess. The White Death corrupted it, I guess, or something. So now we get to fight a lightning pterodactyl. Cool. Or a lightning wyvern. I guess this is technically a wyvern. It's not a pterodactyl, it's a wyvern. Run! Yeah, I love how we have to be told. I love how our companions have to be told to run. Like that shouldn't be the most obvious thing in the world. I will say the OG Snow White animation looks still gorgeous. If you go back and see it, it does look gorgeous. But no, it is interesting to go back and actually watch the classics and enjoy them as they were meant to be enjoyed. I am also going to have that video I promised when the How to Train Your Dragon movie comes out. I'm going to talk about... oh god, so am I ready to talk about How to Train Your Dragon? My favorite movie of all time. You know, am I ready to rant about it for like 30 minutes straight and actually have a coherent point? Okay, this bow is actually pretty cool. It has the pierce coating, so it does like rapid fire hits. It's been really useful at staggering everything else, but... Oh, jeez. Oh, frick. I'm out of health potions. That's the downside going side questing. Oh shoot, here it comes. Lightning. Oh, what do we got here? Coherent point first, rant later. Yeah. Like, my point with all the other, the live action, the review of the movie will basically be, or the review of the Lilo and Stitch movie will be, hey, go talk about Lilo and Stitch. Also, there's just a lot of interesting things to talk about Lilo and Stitch as a franchise. You can talk about how Lilo is an actually interesting depiction of someone who's a bit socially awkward. As someone who is socially awkward, I should know. A lot of the other versions come across a little try-hard sometimes, but Lilo actually just feels legitimately weird as a person. There's also stuff about the animation budget and the ways they were able to work around it. Lilo is great. Yeah, one of the best Disney protagonists by a long shot. Genuinely interesting. Honestly, I still remember when I finally figured out what the deal with Pudge was. In case you... Okay, so this is something I would include in the review, but it's a really good example of how even, like, basic weird stuff with Lilo is actually secretly genius. The reason that she feeds Pudge, and the reason she believes Pudge controls the weather, is apparently, and I need to go the tuna fish. Yeah, that thing. Well, but the whole thing is, apparently her parents died because they were driving in the rain. And she believes Pudge can control the weather, so she's hoping by feeding him and making sure there's no storms, people won't die. Because she doesn't want to see anyone else die like her parents did. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is actually just her trauma. Holy shit. Like, it's this random detail about her that just, like, seems, you know, in any other character it would be just, oh, look how wacky they are. But it's no, there's a reason she's like this. This is the way a child is processing shit. But she's also legitimately just a bit strange, too. Which is also fun. It's not all secretly grief. Ooh. Oh, man. Also, I like the sequels, which a lot of Disney movies, especially like OG Disney movies, don't have good sequels. I really like it. Stitch Has a Glitch, okay, is just as heartwarming in some of the same ways as OG Lilo and Stitch. Stitch the movie was good because it set up the TV show, which is one of the better Disney TV show.
Check your item box later.
And Stitch 3 is also fun. It's not as, like, perfect as the rest, but it is also just a good movie, which is... I put it better than most other Disney sequels. To be fair, most Disney Renaissance or early 2000s movies didn't have good sequels. There was Aladdin with King of Thieves, which I will stand by that one, and I will stand by Lion King 2 being okay, even if it was Romeo and Juliet to Lion King's Hamlet. It was pretty good, though. But everything after the second movie, at most, with Disney movies, tends to be bad. But Lilo and Stitch 3 is still a good movie, in my opinion. Or at least, you know, it's a good animated movie. No, it's a good movie. Flat out, it's just a good movie. And I do like that. Oh, jeez.
Did you see that? After he was charged by that lightning, its head was left wide open.
Yep, I get the memo. Let it discharge and then hit the head. Ooh.
Hey, get out of there!
Shoot. Howdy. Wasn't the TV series used for Disney crossovers a lot? Like, people going to fiction. Oh, yeah. It was like the crossover show. To be fair, a lot of things crossed over back in the day. There was like a whole like segment of Disney animation crossing over in their TV channel. But no, it was. Let's see here. Kim Possible had a crossover with it. The Proud Family, American Dragon Jake Long. Which, I actually particularly liked that one because it's like, wait, aliens are real? It's like, well, yeah. Wait, magic is real? Oh, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, okay, sure. So those were both fun, in my opinion. Hey, Neuro Dragon, how you been? And, like, at this point, I'm Recess... Oh, yeah, there was a Recess crossover. I completely forgot about the Recess crossover. You're right, there was one. That's what I'm saying. There was like a bunch of... Disney used to cross over a lot, which was fun. Why don't we do more crossover stuff? I guess because there's not as much need for brand integration, you know? But still. To be fair, there are crossovers, actually. And that's a little exaggeration of mine. There are crossovers. It's just not with like major mainstream shows. What was it? Ruby did a crossover with the Justice League a while back. If I remember correctly. There was like a straight-to-DVD movie with Ruby and the Justice League. Yes, Ruby. The frickin' Rooster Teeth animation, for some reason. Oh, I should probably, craft some things first. Let's see here. Let's see. Hell of a Boss X Murder Drones. I would actually kind of like to see more crossover stuff return. Like, I know that crossovers, at their inception, are essentially just glorified advertisements. I get that. I understand the argument, you know. But at the same time, I want to see my favorite characters interacting with each other. It's half the fun of fanfiction, you know. I need to go ahead and I need to go grab some grab some healing potions before I go to this fight again, because that's what's actually screwed me, is I couldn't heal. All right, where's the camp? Crossovers happens, just like you're saying, not in a major canonical way. Yeah. It's always interesting to me when crossovers actually, like, weirdly have, like, canon to them. Like, when characters meet multiple times. The only time I can really think about that, though, happening, at least in my memory, is when it would happen with the Justice League, DC animated universe stuff. Like Batman, Superman, Amphibian Hourhouse, not just background references, and background references don't count. It's like, yeah, they do have background references to each other, like, you know. Let's see. Oh, we should also go in here and... Oh, no. Okay, so let's go into the tent. And... You know, the OG... Actually, there was something really funny. So, the OG, in case you guys don't know, for crossover... As crossovers go, nothing is more iconic than the classic monster movie crossover stuff. That's where the crossovers all began, you know? And... Recently, I actually saw something about, like, Universal. They apparently have a park, the secondary park area now with Harry Potter, How to Train Your Dragon, Nintendo, and the Dark Universe. And I was just looking at the advertisement where it was talking about all the cool places you could go. And I'm like, wait, the Dark Universe? You mean that thing that had one, kinda two movies that was trying to be a monster movie version of the MCU, but failed so completely and utterly that you never ever saw it again? That thing? Really? That's one of your, like, iconic brands now? When did that happen? Why is that an iconic brand? And I was just like, that's just bizarre to me. It's so bizarre that that is actually, like, a major brand for them. It's almost pathetic. Hell of a boss in Murder Drones, good lord. For those of you who don't know, the Dark Universe was the attempt of Universal to make the monster movies, like you know, The Mummy, Dracula, Wolfman, you know, those old school classic monster movies used to cross over a lot. They tried to make a cinematic universe of those, which, to be fair, is something they had done in the past, in like the 50s and 40s. However, they started with The Mummy and that weird Dracula Untold movie, and they gave us Dr. Jekyll as like a weird Nick Fury stand-in. And it was really, really bad. And everyone forgot that they tried to make Tom Cruise into a superhero mummy. Yes, that is a thing that happened. You can look it up. They tried to turn the Mummy into a superhero. It was weird. It is very weird. I'm here. I made dinner. Did laundry. Oh, hey, Dawnseeker. You missed the riveting discussion about Lilo and Stitch. Oh, that was my fault. Oof. Wow, I'm just getting pummeled.
Hey, get out of there!
Oh, wow. That was just... I just literally took 2 shots and then died. Isn't there like several thousand games making such crossovers? Games with crossovers? What do you mean? Might not be a thing, but if the section of the call was called Classic Monsters, it wouldn't be a dumb idea. Yeah, the dumb idea isn't that they decided to choose one of their noteworthy brands. Don't get me wrong. Their monster movie brand makes sense as like one of their major things. Yeah, but the Dark Universe doesn't exist. It never really got off the ground. They never actually had any of their major characters cross over. All they had was Dr. Jekyll's whole Helsing wannabe Nick Fury scene in The Mummy. And it wasn't really a universe. It was one movie, and maybe the Dracula Untold movie was going to connect eventually, but at its inception it didn't. Well, I mean, classic monsters have been crossing over in movies for a long time. Like that was the original cinematic universe. Superhero mummies, Real World of Darkness hours. I mean, it wasn't even good. Like I could get behind the absurdity of it if it had actually been good. I think that was the biggest problem for me, is that it was just badly made. To be fair, this was the time of everyone trying to cash in on the MCU and trying to replicate their formula, when it turns out not even the MCU could replicate the MCU's formula for long. Trailers just aren't as good these days. The thing I have is that I don't think even the MCU managed to keep up the MCU's energy. And yet everybody in the world was trying to replicate it for a while. I think it's mostly slowed down I think it's slowed down for the most part. Although I did hear some like funny jokes back in the day about people like saying, oh, they should have the, what is it, Disney Princess crossover, because they have essentially a waterbender and an ice magic user, and like have them cross over, get tangled. Honestly, wasn't the stupidest idea I'd ever heard, to be fair. Mostly because Disney's done weirder stuff in the past. And Disney is kind of like one of the brands that has had like the most crossover stuff over the years. Oh man, this lightning wyvern is really taking it out of me, isn't it? Alright, got him. There we go. Princess TV series could be cool. I know, right? I feel like the art of the movie trailer has been lost in its place is, oh, look, flashy effects is me. Yeah. I also feel like everyone is trying to build suspense, even when there isn't that much suspense to be built. Like, they're trying to make it a mystery. It's like, oh my, can you believe this is happening? This thing that you know about already because it's probably part of a existing franchise, and then dumb joke as they introduce the character, because who wants to introduce the character seriously? There has to be a dumb clip. Then somebody says, oh, can you believe this is happening? Followed by, let's do this. It's usually with the villain who they've cast a charismatic actor in the form of. If you'd like to decide which franchise I'm talking about there, go ahead and take a guess. Because that's like every movie trailer now, I find. Oh man. Do you guys have your guesses ready? I can tell you which one I was specifically referencing there, if you want to know. But it really does feel like every time they bring some old franchise back, there's this somber tone at first, then there's some jokey reference of, isn't this ridiculous? And then there's, you know, we got it, and then it goes back to being slightly serious with like almost an earnest attempt at the character, only for another character to be like, this is really dumb, isn't it? Like they have to justify it. But I will admit, they've gotten a little bit better about that over the years. The one I was specifically talking about there was Sonic. But I feel like I could be talking about like any revivals movie, like Ghostbusters or like any of the 1,000 others that have come out in the year, because they all use the same trailer formula. It's a little ridiculous. And if they're not using that formula, they're using the first movie is sacred. We have to treat every random thing from every random piece of paraphernalia like it's some sacred relic, aka the Ghostbusters trailer. I was thinking Sonic, but I was afraid to say. It's like, hey, why don't you just do something new with these characters and this thing? I mean, don't get me wrong, the Sonic isn't bad. Like, I'm saying the trailer formula is generic, and it leads to a lot of other generic movies usually, but the actual thing itself isn't that bad. Now, one thing that I am dreading, and I'm not even sure I want to talk about when it comes out, is the Minecraft movie. I'm not sure I want to deal with that. Like, the movies just look so bad. Not in a fun way. In a, oh my god, what have they done to this? Like, this is such... Like, I feel like Minecraft was a no-brainer, because the internet had already done 1,000 examples for them. Like, there are basically machinima Minecraft movies all over YouTube. Lots of them with actual plot. Hell, this one guy made music videos that had a continuous plot about the Nether invading and the Wither and the End Warriors and a bunch of other stuff. And it's like, it turned music videos into a better movie than that thing happened. But it just, like, they immediately went for the 90s, oh, it's, we're gonna have people from the real world come in because we need real people to ground them in this fantasy world, because people, why would anyone enjoy a fantasy world? God, I am personally loathe the opinion that we need real life people in a fantasy world in order for people to relate to it. Isekai has not helped that particular thing. Minecraft is for children, right? Yeah, it's like, children will just know what Minecraft is. It's a, you know, it's Minecraft. They're not gonna bat an eye if the whole thing started with Steve. If the whole thing started with Steve waking up on a beach, they would not bat an eye. They'd be like, yeah, that's how the game starts sometimes. With you just waking up in a random location. Also, it being a kids movie is not an excuse for it to be just, like, that lazy. And also for the effects to look that bad. Why they decided to go with that pseudo-realistic fur CGI while also doing the, real actors thing with Jack Black just, like, boggles my mind. Oof. Well, I got blasted into oblivion. Minecraft is for children, right? It is, although I would somewhat argue it's for all ages, because Minecraft has been around so long at this point. Like, it depends on also what era of Minecraft you're talking about. I mean, it's sort of like with Pokemon. If you make a Pokemon movie, you make it for kids as a primary audience, but you make it with the understanding that, like, anyone is going to go watch it. So, like, Detective Pikachu, for example, is actually a good example, I'd say. It is a very much a kids movie, but it knows that it's going to be seen by people of all ages. Should have been an experimental film like Castaway. I honestly would not have been against that, and apparently there are even some Minecraft books that are actually, like, a lot like that, apparently. Like, some official books. That have, like, sort of a Castaway, or you wake up in survival, survival mode kind of thing. Wilson. It's just so weird to me that they're doing this whole Jack Black comes out of your computer thing. Like, I thought we were past this. I actually genuinely thought we were past this whole thing. The last movie I can think of that did a hard pivot for, like, the real world meeting the other world was the Monster Hunter movie. And at least that one had, like, a character actually stranded in the Monster Hunter world. So it's like some new person coming to the series with no idea what's going on. You know? They essentially were stranded and forced to, like, actually deal with the monsters to survive. Yeah, the military showed up at the very end with the weird portal thing, but, like, it didn't take over the film for a huge portion, if that makes sense. The Monster Hunter movie is actually pretty good. I'd recommend it. It's not the best movie in the world, but it is a lot of fun. And it has the... Oh, God, what's her name? She's the actress who played the main character in the Resident Evil movies. Love Detective Pikachu, enjoyed it so much. Yeah, it's a good movie. And it shows you can make a movie for kids, quote-unquote, without it being just objectively bad. Like... I feel like a lot of people, especially people who respond to criticism of movies, like talk to people, like who like to go into comment sections like that, or actually you like, well, it's for kids. It's like, yeah, but it's also just a bad movie. Like, as a kid, I would probably have been like excited about it at the first time I saw it, and then never watched it again. And something I never wanted to watch again is probably not something that was worth my time, my valuable time on this world. Movie trailers, I feel, used to portray a general feeling. They were advertising that is what a Dog's Journey trailer did. Dog's Journey is a sequel. Dreading Monster Hunter after seeing recent Street Fighter. The Monster Hunter live action movie is actually pretty good. It's not amazing or anything, but it's pretty good. It has an enjoyable premise. The idea is essentially there are these random portals opening in the desert, and this one lady from the military gets sucked out and stranded in this desert area with a monster, and she has to work with this other person, learn the mechanics of the game essentially, and hunt and manage to kill the monster. And what's really impressive about it is they actually stick with the whole, you have to like kind of take it down with traps and cunning and using 1,000 little butt pokes, and it's like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. I like it. Yes, it also has the portal from another world thing, but at least it takes its premise somewhat seriously. Don't even know the last time I've seen the trailer. I mean, the only reason I see it is because I see movies in theaters. Like, I'm not even gonna really lie. Most of the time when I see a trailer, I'm either actively looking for it, or I'm either actively looking for it, or I'm seeing it in the theater when I'm watching another movie. Trailers also just don't get... You're right, trailers don't really get seen a lot unless you're already looking for it. Unless it's specifically designed to be seen. Like, I feel like everyone's seen the Minecraft trailer because it was designed to be shared all over social media.
Let's cleanse that stat. It's heading toward
God damn it. This thing loves running away, doesn't it? She went and rented A Dog's Purpose, so I knew the basic info, and man, was it good. Alright. Well, time to back up. Alright, get him Mars. Oof. Drink, 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 drink. Go, 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 go. Oh my god, the window for, like, punishing him is so small. Jeez. Going back to crossover topics, need Temeraire crossover Dragonheart. Temeraire actually has a few decent crossover fics. Actually, one of the weirdest ones was, oh god, what was it? What was one of the weirder Temeraire crossover? I know I've read a few. There was that one like weird Harry Potter crossover, which was kind of mildly interesting, mostly because it wasn't really about the plot of Temeraire, but it also kind of it was weird. That one was weird. It was more about like Atlantis actually existing, sort of. All right, here we go. No, Temeraire is the movie I would want to see. Honestly, I'd want to see mostly anything Naomi Novik has done adapted. I would love for her to get some actual freaking movie adaptations, but I don't think people will. Now, one thing I am actually excited about, I would love to see, Rachel Aaron's stuff would probably translate really well to movies. Because you have dragons, but they're mostly in their human form, so you wouldn't have to worry about the effects budget. A lot of the crazy stuff can be done with basic CGI, but like, she has a very adaptable urban fantasy setting, and I think people would really like it if they gave it a shot. But unfortunately, Rachel Aaron's stuff is not nearly popular enough to get a movie with a good budget. I am really sad about that too, because I think especially the Teardown Heaven series has been really good. I'm actually really excited for the 4th book. I've always enjoyed Rachel Aaron's stuff, but damn. It does have crossovers? I mean, everything, dude, everything has crossovers on fanfiction. Dawnseek, a Nerdo Dragon, have you gone to a fanfic site? Crossovers are like half the content on that site is basically crossovers. Basically everything crosses over with everything is the rule, generally speaking. Maybe not everything, but like, if it's not, you can make one. Dog's Journey to your endless movie backlog handle. Will do, a dog's purpose and a dog's journey. Got it. I'll add it back there with the other 20. Or 40. Or 50, or how many it was there. Oh, talking officials, not fanfics. Oh, officials? No, it doesn't have any. There is some yeah, books don't get a lot of crossovers. Well, unless you're Rick Riordan, I guess. Yeah, that's actually one of the interesting things. Oh yeah, that's one of the other ones. So Rick Riordan is kind of interesting because he did like a Egyptian side series and also a Norse side series. And one of the things he's done actually really well, and one of the reasons I'm surprised all his stuff has gotten adapted so poorly, is he does, if it exists, there's a pony of it, is that his stuff is actually in a shared universe. Which is why I'm really surprised nobody jumped on it for like a shared universe, connected universe thing. Because, oh my god, does it have like a massive connected universe. He has the Egyptian, Roman, Greek, and Norse pantheons in his world. And the characters have even crossed over with each other in side stories, which is kind of crazy. It was really subtle too, because the first time it even became like a thing was when he did the Egyptian side series. Before that, he just done Greek, and then he was planning on his Roman stuff. But before he released the Blood of Olympus thing, there was a side story of like 3 books with the Egyptian pantheon. In this age, best coin flip on whether you're going to get adaptation or a phony talking self-insert fanfiction. I mean, it's not even self-insert fanfiction. Self-insert fanfiction at least has passion behind it most of the time. The things they do are just shameless cash grabs. There's a very, very big difference between the two, in my opinion. Because they're just designed to make money, whereas the other thing is designed to particularly write something that they will personally enjoy, no one else. Which, they're very two different things. Like, What is it? The guy who did Resident Evil. That was kind of a self-insert fanfiction kind of thing for whoever was doing that whole thing, with the main character who's just the bestest and also gets the Wesker adaptations and is super special. That's kind of self-insert fanfiction. But it at least had like a passionate cast behind it, and they were apparently interested in doing the movies, and they just kept going, you know, even when people said they were shit. But things like the original Percy Jackson adaptation, or the Minecraft movie, they're not self-insert. They're just like cynical cash grabs. There's a big difference. I'd actually prefer self-insert fanfiction over cynical cash grab. I'm just gonna say it.
Leave this to me.
Because at least that person cared about it, even if it was in a weird way. Also, it's not impossible for either of those to be good, but I'd say generally the pointless cash grabs tend to be less enjoyable on average. Weirdest was Bad Guys and Johnny Gat. Wait, really? Soul Bad Guy and Johnny Gat. Okay. That's weird. Oh yeah, the Bad Guys is getting a sequel too. Not sure why. Don't know why they're getting a sequel for that movie. Doesn't really seem like it needs one. At worst, you get borderline propaganda pieces. Yeah, I mean, that's just art, though. Like, God, what was I about to say, actually? Oh, God, it's driving to my tongue. Oh, yeah, the Percy Jackson thing. So, his whole thing is that he actually kept it all in the same world. And in the first one, the first Egyptian one, I forget what it was called, but it was the Kane Chronicles is the trilogy's name. But in the first book of that trilogy, he said there's this offhanded line about how like they're always on this side of the river because they're always on the west side of the river because on the east side of the river is where other gods lie or something like that. No, they're always on the they're always on the west side of the river because the eastern side of the river is where the other gods lie, and it's implied that that's where Olympus is because that's in New York properly. And so they're on the other side of the river from New York, like in Jersey or something, I think. And then they had the Norse pantheon, which involved Annabeth Chase's cousin. I don't remember that one that well. I think I read it, but I can't really remember it very well. But no, Rick Riordan did like an entire connected universe. And it just gets like no press because most people didn't really care that much about the Kane Chronicles, and most people didn't really care that much about the Norse one either, from what I understand. I mean, I didn't hear people talking about that one at all, really. Even it was coming out at the same time as Blood of Olympus. Or so it was coming out like between Blood of Olympus and the original Percy Jackson series, and I just didn't hear people, talking that much about it. However, one of the interesting things is they actually managed to differentiate the pantheons fairly well. Again, if I remember correctly, the Norse one is that they're kind of mortal and can be killed, versus like the Greek gods who even if you chop them to pieces, you still got to throw the pieces in Tartarus. And meanwhile, the Egyptian gods were really interesting. So their whole thing was that they require human forms to repeat, and that all the different variations in their myth were different iterations of the myth playing out. So every time they're released, or every time they take new human forms, they end up playing out their stories again. So, Ra always goes senile, he always makes Osiris his heir, Set always gets jealous and kills him, chopping him to pieces, and Isis always takes Horus away, and, shelters Horus until he's ready to go beat up Set and take his place as king of the gods. But they play out in different ways. So, like, the differentiation of Isis being Horus's mother versus sister. It's like, well, sometimes they're usually related by blood, the hosts, but sometimes the hosts are mother and son, and other times they're brother and sister. This time they're brother and sister, so,
Go ahead.
And it's just like, oh, okay. But the interesting bit is that the Egyptian, like, mages, who are essentially their modern-day worshippers, don't really worship them anymore because they decided the gods' endless cycle of repeating the same tragedies over and over again wasn't healthy for the world as a whole. And so the wisest of the gods, Thoth, decided to work with the magicians to banish their gods into artifacts. And a lot of them have actual jobs, like Bass is still supposed to be fighting Apophis forever. But the main character's parents, a few years back, had decided that they needed to free the gods because there was some great impending tragedy, and Apophis was going to actually devour the sun for realsies this time. And so they freed Bass and set off a chain reaction where other gods began getting freed or summoned, which is super not great. And then it ends up with the main characters getting possessed by Horus and Isis respectively, which is kind of interesting, especially since they have their own inner monologues. As opposed to the Greek stories where the gods are these all-powerful, omnipotent figures who also can't intervene because there are very specific rules to prevent them from doing a Troy again. Yes, I did just refer to the Trojan War as the gods doing a Troy.
We should tell Werner what we found.
Oh, man.
Good idea.
That's where, you do realize that's where he got the whole gods don't interfere with the mortal world thing, is from the Trojan War. In the Iliad, it was implied that Zeus had made some kind of edict that said the gods were supposed to fight each other and not supposed to fight the mortals directly. So, because the gods were fighting because, because Eris, the god of discord, decided that she wanted chaos today. You might know her from Billy and Mandy. She is just a shit stirrer. And she chucked her golden apple into Achilles' wedding into the clump of Aphrodite, Hera, and Athena instead of for the prettiest goddess, and then bolted. They went to Zeus, and Zeus for once was like, I actually have basic survival instincts, it turns out. And so he said, hey, there's this random Trojan kid, he can be the judge. And so each of them tried to offer him a bribe. Hera said she would make him the ruler of the world. Athena said she would make him like the best general ever, and he would never lose a battle. And Aphrodite said she would give him the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen of Troy, who was already married to someone else and part of a big war pact that said if anyone stole her, the entire Greek force would have to go fight her, and every kingdom under the sun would have to help him get her back. And so Paris, in the worst decision-making of all time, chose Aphrodite, and thus war. Yes. The biggest war in Greek mythology is also because someone can't keep it in their pants. It is a consistent theme in that mythology. Every problem is the result of horniness. Anyway, this meant that Aphrodite was very happy, but Athena and Hera won't. Zeus, I think, sided with Aphrodite, if I remember correctly, because he was the one who set up the contest, and thus battle lines begin to be drawn. Hera and Athena lead the Greek kings, and Zeus is like, hey, screw everyone, really. I'm just gonna cause more problems. Much unlike today. Let's see here, where's Werner? Oh, in the oil basin, okay. Today, every solution is horniness. Seriously, why are the gods so horny? Dude, you have no idea the level of insane depravity the gods operated under in Greek mythology. Do you want to know about Despoina? So, Demeter caught the eye of Poseidon for a bit. Remember, they're brother and sister. That just happens with the gods. And he decided he really wanted to have some fun time. So he chased after her. She turned into a horse to get away. Poseidon also turned into a horse. Bing, bang, boom. You got a horse god. Again, I am asking, why? Basic universal human experience? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just know the meme, you know? In Greek mythology, all problems are caused because Zeus was horny. In Egyptian mythology, all problems were caused because Ra was senile. And in Norse mythology, all problems were caused because Loki was dumb and or clever. That is the way it works. There's not really a reason.
Wow. What a view.
Ooh, cool. Wee. Do. Well, I heard mythology is so depraved because it was tales told drunk sitting next to campfire. Also, blame someone for human misfortune. I mean, blaming people for human misfortune was a big part of it. I'm not going to deny that. Hey, have you ever heard... Do you guys know how the Minotaur was born? Because a lot of the Greek like hybrids have like really weird origins, right? Like Medusa's getting decapitated is where we get the Pegasus from. Yeah, she had a kid with Poseidon, and the Pegasus and a really fast horse called Arion sprouted from her neck stump after Perseus, the son of Zeus, not the son of Poseidon, decapitated her. That's actually where he came from. But the Minotaur is the worst because he is the most obvious answer, but no one likes it. So you know the story of Minos. He was a dick of a king, and the whole thing with him is he was the son of Poseidon, I believe, and so he asked his dad for a gift to impress the people and make him a king. And so he gave him like this super special bull with the understanding he'd be sacrificed. But Minos didn't want to sacrifice it, and Poseidon got really angry because he didn't fulfill his end of the bargain, which was to sacrifice the sacred cow to him after he was made king. You know, sign of respect. So, oh my. So Poseidon went to Aphrodite for revenge, and she made Minos' wife, Pasiphae, fall in love with the bull. However, she couldn't, you know, so she was a little bit of mechanical trouble, so she went to Daedalus, the later inventor of the Icarus wings, because that's who you go to for inventions. I mean, he was a genius back in the day, apparently. And she asked him for a wooden bull suit. For reasons. Don't question it. And Daedalus is like, sure, I'll do it. And, well, a few months later, you got the Minotaur. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't even a god in disguise. It was just a bull. Unfortunately, since it's a completely unnatural abomination, it has to eat, human flesh. The Minotaur, that is, not the bull. The bull was just a bull. Hercules eventually stole the damn thing. Yeah, Hercules stole the thing. Minos was like, when Hercules went to steal it for one of his tasks, Minos was like, just take the damn thing and leave. Please, I beg of you. Points for style and creativity. Yeah, Hercules had to go steal the Cretan bull. And Minos was literally just like, please, I am begging you, take it and leave. I do not want to ever see the abomination again. Which, hey, he suffered. Which was the point of him, was Poseidon asking Aphrodite for help, right? Anyway, after that, they had to build him a labyrinth. And after Daedalus built it to make sure nobody knew how it worked, Minos locked him in a tower, and then Icarus happened. So, you know, with Icarus and a bunch of supplies. So, wings, wax, sun, melt, fall. You know the story. Everyone knows Icarus. And after a while, they needed to feed the Minotaur, though, so he kept buying Athenian slaves, and Perseus found out about it. Or not Perseus. Perseus is actually a good hero with a moral code and very, very few to no human murders on their hands. So Theseus showed up, and he was, you know, Ariadne, the Minos' daughter, fell in love with him. She had this ball of thread, the thread of Ariadne, or clue, technically, that would help lead him through the labyrinth. And he used it to kill the Minotaur. But weirdly, despite what you might think, Minos wasn't happy that the abomination his wife created was dead. So he got angry, and they had to run away on a boat. But then Theseus, but then one night on the way back to Athens, well, see, in the original story, he just did it. It was later retconned that Athena told him to, which doesn't really make it better, and I don't understand why Athena would say this. But she just abandoned Ariadne on a desert island for no reason. Like, this girl betrayed her father, helped him kill her half-brother, even if he was a monster, and ran away with him with the promise of being married. And he just dropped her on a desert island and left in the middle of the night while she was sleeping. Like, what the hell, Theseus? You're an asshole. To be fair, this is also the guy who tried to steal Helen of Troy when she was a child, so that he could wait for her to get older to marry. Yeah, that's the thing Theseus also did. Theseus was not a very good person, which reflects very poorly on Athens, or reflects very accurately on Athens. Hercules was a good guy, long to, if I remember what... Hercules wasn't really a good guy. He more of just suffered. So the whole thing with Hercules is that Hera hated him more than any of Zeus's children. For reference, if you're a child of Zeus, Hera either hates you with an unblinding passion, will hate you if you come into her sight, Or just doesn't care.
Can't be.
At least he waited. He could have been worse. Well, you say that. His bro Pirithous is also a part of that same myth. And what happened with that was, Theseus was also getting a bride for Pirithous. And their decision was to... Pirithous wanted to wed Persephone. So... they decide to go down to the underworld. Hades was waiting for them, already knowing what they're doing. Remember, Theseus, the clever Athenian hero, did this. Every fiber of Hercules' being. Yeah, she hated Hercules the most of any of his children. Hades chained them to a chair with stone serpents and left them there. Hercules eventually rescued Theseus, but he went to go grab Pirithous, and Hades made the entire underworld rumble, so Hercules like... look, you seem like a kind of shitty person, so I'm just gonna leave you here. I'll take the less shitty one of you, and we'll go back up to the surface. Bye, Pirithous. Wait, no, Theseus, don't leave me. It's like, I'm not staying here, bro. But no, Hera really hated Hercules. Like, really hated him. So, Hera started taking basically petty revenge on him from before he was born. So the first thing she does when she finds out Zeus has cheated on her, again, is immediately try and screw Heracles out of his birthright. So Heracles was supposed to be the king, but she decided to trick Zeus. So she made him promise that the next king, the descendant of some Greek hero, would be, or I think Perseus, was it descendant of Perseus, I think, would be the new king. However, she then kidnapped the goddess of childbirth and held her hostage. So that Heracles' cousin would be born before he was, which meant that he was not the king. So immediately she screwed him out of his birthright, just to start with. The nursemaid eventually distracted Hera, which allowed the goddess of childbirth to break free, which Hera responded by turning the nursemaid, who was just trying to get her queen to, you know, finally have her child. She turned her into a ferret, and apparently the family kept her, which points on them, I guess. Anyway, after that, Heracles had a childhood with the snakes, you know. Well, okay, before that, actually, it's kind of funny, because Hera almost had a moment of self-reflection. See, the reason he's called Heracles is because he was named after Hera, as a way to appease her. But they immediately knew that this was just going to be bad for them. So the mom was like, hey, look, I don't want to deal with Hera's wrath, and Zeus is an asshole. Can we just, like, drop him? Okay, nihilistic little cat man? Huh. What's with the mysterious witch hat cat man? Interesting. So they left him on top of a mountain, and then Athena finds him and is like, Hera, can you believe this? Somebody just left this baby on top of this mountain. And Hera's like, oh, I actually feel a little bit of pity for him. So she started nursing him. But Heracles is apparently a toothy baby and bites her. Hera chucks him down to earth, because ow, but unfortunately, drinking the milk of Hera has given him now super strength. By the way, that's where his super strength came from, yeah. Anyway, after that, there was the whole thing with the snakes, where Hera sent some snakes to try and strangle him. Not Hades, it was Hera.
Authorizes you to hunt that Narcilla.
I'm on it.
We'll be back at
After that, Heracles accidentally killed his tutor in a rage. That'll be a running theme, by the way. And then he got married to his first wife. He was married 4 times, by the way. To one wife that had a very particular name. Anyway, Hera was like, oh no, a happy ending? You're a Greek hero. You don't get those. So she immediately was like, drive you mad. So she drove Heracles insane with magic, and he murdered his wife and children as a result. And then, you know, instead of just trying to, like, get him executed, which seems like a completely reasonable way to do things, Hera was like, okay, so I'm going to have him sent to the Oracle, and the Oracle is going to go tell him to do 12 labors for his cousin who owes me some, because I'm the one reason he's a king. Remember, the cousin that stole Heracles' birthright because of Hera's plotting. Because this is like the most overcomplicated hero story ever. I'm just not even joking about this. Like, Hera's plans are just so overly complicated. Anyway. Dick move by Hera. It's like, yeah, I know, it's like all this stuff for like making him miserable, but like the children thing is like, oh yeah, I'll just drive you temporarily mad. It's like, just kill him already if you hate him so much. Jeez. Anyway, that's where you get the 12 labors from. His cousin Eurystheus ordered him to do 12 labors to atone after the Oracle, under Hera's guidance, told him he had to do that in order to reach atonement and not be punished for what he did, or what Hera made him do, really. Like, Hercules is responsible for a lot of shit, but the murder of his original family was not technically on him, in my opinion. That was literally Hera drove him magically mad, like... Anyway. You know a few of these. I don't remember the order the labors are in, but I remember most of them. So, for one of them, he had to kill the Nemean lion, which was a lion with unbreakable fur. He did it by strangling it, because he's essentially a pro wrestling hero. He had to capture the Eurysthean hide, and Artemis told her, but only if you can catch her. And he technically did, but only because Artemis let him, because Zeus ordered her to. Let's see, he had to kill the Hydra, which its blood was venomous, so they managed to kill it, and they tipped he and one of his friends and sometimes lover, Iolaus. That was, yeah, Hercules had, not only multiple wives, but also, like, a bunch of male lovers. That was just a thing with him. Anyway, they dipped their arrows in Hydra blood after they killed it, so they had venomous arrows at that point on. So anything that involves that happened after that part. The Hydra will remember that, by the way. Oh, man. Let's see, what else? He had to go grab the bull from Minos. He brought it over to Eurystheus. Eurystheus is like, put that back, you asshole. I didn't expect you to actually bring it here. Eurystheus had a habit of, like, asking him to bring dangerous animals into the palace. And just being, like, not being able to contain them, like the deer. Or just, like, not wanting them there when he actually brought them because he wasn't expecting him to survive. Which, I don't know what he expected after a certain point. So he brought the bull, and then the bull just kind of wanders off. You never see it again. It's fine. Whatever. Don't think about it too hard. Then, after that, we had, if I recall, the Hydra got revenge in a very roundabout way. Yeah, very roundabout. Actually, you are correct on that. It's a very, very roundabout way. He also had to burn the stumps of the head so it didn't keep growing its head back. That was the other important bit. Let's see. Then he ordered him go to Hades, literally, to go retrieve Cerberus. And Hades was like, okay, you can bring my dog to the surface world for a bit on a walk, but only if you can defeat him only if you can immobilize him without using a weapon. And Hercules is basically, again, pro wrestler, the hero. So for him, that wasn't really a challenge. So he did, but apparently in some versions Hades objected and got an arrow in the shoulder, and I'm not really sure why. Like, I tried looking this up after I saw this in OSP, and like, yeah, there are some versions of that. Wonder why. I don't get the reason. Maybe they just thought Hades needed to be a little more bit petty and pathetic like everyone else in the story. I don't know. It's mythology. Just go with it. Anyway, he brought Cerberus to his cousin's throne room, and his cousin was like, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back! Then he was asked to get the golden apples of the Gardens of Hesperides. They're basically the golden apples of Idun from Norse mythology, but the Greek version. You know, the apples that make people immortal. They were a wedding gift from Zeus to Hera. So, and Eurystheus was going to offer them to his new patron goddess or something. And so that's where he met Atlas, the giant, the titan that holds up the sky. You know Atlas, or at least you're vaguely familiar with the concept of Atlas. He was a titan, like the father of the gods Kronos. And so he was forever holding up Uranus, the sky, so he'd never meet Gaia. Actually, something similar happens with the sky and Earth in Egyptian mythology, where they're constantly having kids and then they get like forcibly separated forever. Seriously, Hades is the chillest god in the Pantheon. No, chillest god in the Pantheon is Hestia. Hands down. Hestia was the original member of the Olympians. Dionysus is believed to have supplanted her because there's only ever versions with her or Dionysus. And Hestia has literally done nothing wrong ever, like objectively. There's not a single myth where Hestia has done anything wrong. She is the goddess of the hearth, family, and like warmth and love and home. She is literally just the chillest, goodest goddess ever. There's nothing that she has ever done in any myth. To be fair, she isn't in many myths, but she also has not done anything horrible in them, which is... Even Hades has done things like imprison people at a table with snakes holding them to chairs forever, or sending people to the fields of punishment to be tormented. Like, Hades is pretty chill, don't get me wrong. By the standards of the other gods, he's chill. Very chill. One of the chillest. Him and Persephone are also both pretty chill. Like, they don't generally cheat on each other. There was that whole thing with Persephone going after Adonis, but, like, you know, that was her and Aphrodite having a bit of a fight, sort of. What was it? That, Aphrodite wanted, Persephone to raise Adonis for her, and so he grew up in the underworld, and then Aphrodite came back after he'd all grown up and was like, he looks hot, actually, and wanted to marry him, but Persephone was already trying to do that, which is weird, because I think she raised him, which is weird. A little weird, I guess, but I guess not if you're a god. Okay, second chillest god in the Pantheon. Yeah, absolutely. Second chillest god easily. 100%. Aside from that, I'd say Hermes was also pretty chill. Like, Hermes doesn't really do things to people. He more of delivers messages or curses or sends information. There are a few times where he's done asshole things, though, but he has generally been more helpful than hurtful. He doesn't really hurt people that often. I can't remember any specific occasion where he raped someone, so that's, you know... immediately puts him above, like, 90% of the gods. And Thanatos is also pretty chill. But to be fair, the Greeks didn't really like thinking about him, so even if he had done something horrible, just his presence was already pretty much bad enough. Oh, man. Anyway, Hercules, like we were saying. It's gods, Ramble, Greek gods. You have no little incest is gonna stop them. Especially when it's, like, adoptive incest. Yeah, of course not. If the actual thing doesn't, why would the real thing? If the real thing didn't, why would the, like, pseudo thing? Oh my god. Oh, man. Chug, 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 chug. Alright, got him. But yeah. Anyway, after all his trials, because he did a lot of things, like, oh yeah, we were talking about Atlas, I guess. So, with the Atlas one, I guess that's the last major one I haven't really talked about. So, well, there was a time he had to clean out some stables by flooding with a river, but that's not really important. Anyway, Atlas was holding up the sky nearby, and there was a dragon, like, with, like, 100 heads. There was a 100-headed dragon called Ladon that was guarding the apples of Hesperides. And so Hercules saw Atlas and was like, hey, you're really tall. How about I hold up the sky for you, because, you know, strongest demigod in history, and we'll go ahead, and you can go ahead and pick the apples for me, because you're so tall. And Atlas was like, okay, sure. And, unfortunately, afterwards... Oh, frick. The stupid... Goddamn... Anyway, after he got the apples, Atlas was suddenly really enjoying not having to, you know, hold up the sky. And so his whole thing was like, hey, why don't you just tell me where you need these delivered, and I can go do it for you. And Hercules was like, okay, well, just let me, like, get a good position real quick first, because, like, this is, like, you know, it's really awkward holding it up like this. So I just need to, like, straighten my cape and everything. He's like, okay, sure, I'll totally do that. Sounds cool. And then Hercules had the apples and was like, so, bye. It's like I was like, no, you promised. So yeah, he lied. Because, you know, of course he did. Holding up the sky all day is probably not that enjoyable. Oh, man. Anyway, after all of that, he got married again some point. and then that went wrong. I don't remember what happened to his second wife. His third wife, though, was the one who killed him. Basically, her name in Greek meant husband destroyer, so I actually don't know what Hercules was expecting to happen. But, you know. Anyway, Hercules had shot a centaur who was acting untoward towards her. And as the centaur was dying, he was like, hey, because he got shot with a hydra blood venom arrow. And so the centaur was like, okay, hey, if he's ever unfaithful to you, my blood, which is now laced with hydra venom, but I'm not going to mention that part though, can provide a potion, used to create a potion that'll make him totally love you forever. One of the ways Min said, yoink, was probably Wade Wilson. And so she bottled a bunch of the centaur's blood. Then years later, when Hercules started making eyes at another woman, she took the blood and smeared it all over the inside of one of his shirts. It actually didn't kill him, technically speaking. It would have killed literally anyone else, but remember, he was a demigod son of Zeus, probably one of the strongest in history, and he was also had been nursed on Hera's milk, so he was, like, basically, like, 3/4, or, like, you can't really say it, he was technically half-god, but, like, the amount of divinity in his veins in the stories was freaking ridiculous. He was basically a god in all but title, even when he was mortal. So he was hurt so bad, though, he just didn't really want to keep living in eternal pain forever. Just wasn't fun to him. So instead, he was like, alright, so, buddy, Iolus, I'm gonna need you to, like, just burn me, because I am, like, so sick of this life. I want Hera to leave me alone. Send me to the underworld where I can actually be happy. You know, I've done enough great things that I probably get to go to the Isle of the Blessed or whatever, or to Elysium. Until death do us part. Yeah. Anyway, Hercules burned in the fire, but instead of killing him, it actually just burned away his what mortal blood remained in him, and left him as a pure god who ascended to Olympus, and then he married another goddess as his fourth wife and final one. So yeah, that was the story of Hercules. Heavily cut down because there's actually a lot more to it than that. He has like so many myths and so many stories about him, it's not even funny. Like, just so many. There are basically 1,000 regional variants and side stories about Hercules. Or Heracles, as he was technically known. Because, again, his whole name was basically, hey Hera, can you just leave this one child alone, please? And Hera was like, no, extra vengeance. Although, there is an example of a time when Hera just did not care about a child of Zeus. Perseus, because Perseus gets all the benefits. If you didn't know, actually in universe, the reason Percy Jackson is called Percy is because his mother wanted to name him after one of the only Greek heroes who got a purely happy ending. Because Perseus was essentially the son of Zeus that could do literally nothing wrong. He was always in the right, always a hero. He slayed a sea monster to save a princess. He killed Medusa because she was a monster who was turning people to stone. And he just also didn't even get revenge on the king who tried to kill his mother. He just kind of like let it be, and eventually the prophecy came true by complete accident. So he doesn't even have vengeance against him. He was literally just a completely chill, awesome dude. And even Hera seems to realize this, because there was this whole point where he had to go to this like sacred, he had to go retrieve some object and some shield and helm and, you know, his equipment to go fight Medusa. And Hera was there, and she sees him, and she's just like, huh, interesting, and just walks away. And it's like, she didn't even try and kill him. She just walked away from a child of Zeus without even an insult. If I remember correctly, she even said, oh yeah, good luck. And I'm like, what the frick, Hera? What happened? Hercules must have been like so salty hearing about that. Like, if you're Hercules and you hear about that, you must be like so salty. It's like, why did I get singled out? Oh, man. But yeah, Perseus was essentially the Greek hero who literally did nothing wrong. That was his whole deal. He's the one who got a happy ending, who everyone liked, who married a princess that he rescued from a sea leviathan, and just everyone was cool with him forever. Thus the Hydra gets really roundabout revenge. Through the Centaur, who was also getting really roundabout revenge, you mean. Anyway. Yeah, mythology is full of just like weird ass stories like that. God damn it. Optimal health potion, go! Spiders are kind of interesting. You know, if spiders became human or dog-sized, scariest would be common jumping spider because they can plan. Yeah. Although imagine how much venom. Although a Black Widow would be even deadlier because they can't immediately kill you with a single bite. They can make you really sick, but like if they were dog-sized, that amount of venom would absolutely wreck your shit. Actually, basically any venomous spider would become instantly lethal with a single bite. From the sheer amount of venom they can inject. Fire! Bam! Alright, we finally killed the damn thing. But they can't plan. That's fair. That is fair. Very fair. Alright, we gotta wreck up this carcass. We only got a minute. Slice it up into pieces. Actually, do you know about there's the other thing where all Greek mythology comes from. Someone saying they're better than a god at the thing the god is known for. That's where spiders came from. Do you guys know the story of Arachne? The first spider. Or mother of all spiders, depending how you talk about it. Basically, Arachne was a amazing weaver. And remember, Athena is the god of crafts, so she's the weaving god. And Arachne was boasting, and she eventually just decided she wanted to be like extra prideful that day, I guess. And so she boasted that she was a better weaver than Athena. Which is a lot like saying you're prettier than Aphrodite, or prouder than Zeus, or faster than Hermes. It's just not a thing you do if you want to remain alive and or sane and or healthy and or not being devoured alive by monsters.
Hello, I'm Alma.
Or driven insane, or any of the other 1,000 weird things that can happen to you. Or with turn to stone while your children are gunned down by divine arrows, because that happened to somebody.
Can I ask how you got caught by the
Anyway, they had a weaving competition, and Athena made this elegant tapestry of the founding of Athens with the saltwater spring from Poseidon and the, but with the olive tree that Athena made. And Arachne, apparently not reading the room, just, you know, because she's already committed blasphemy by saying she's a better craftsman than Athena, decided that she was going to up the heresy by creating a portrait of all the times that the gods decided to get freaky with humans. Particularly the ones that involved them turning into animals. Like that time that Zeus turned into a swan to make, to procreate and eventually create Helen of Troy. Yeah. She didn't read the room at all. Anyway, Athena was like extra angry about this and ripped it to fucking shreds. Because remember, she's one of the 3 maiden goddesses. She does not want to see all the times that her uncles did really, really stupid things with mortals in the shape of an animal. That's just really not Athena's vibe. So she was super annoyed. And Arachne either got like nearly died in the process, or she was like heartbroken and destroyed and just laying down to die anyway after Athena ripped into her and or maybe killed her. Then Athena decided to take pity on her and turned her into a spider for reasons. So she could weave forever. I'm assuming she was going to make more not safe for word god fan art. That's my canon anyway. My canon anyway is that she learned absolutely nothing, was just gonna eternally weave Zeus's not safe for work fan art. Oh man. I am angrier than Kratos. Brown Recluse really gets vengeful when you invade their space. Yikes. And no-show fire spring.
Do you think this is the cliffs that Tim talked about?
Probably.
Yes. Or at least what he thinks is a cliff.
Not, does this place look familiar at all?
Never seen it. But I don't know how to explain this. Something about it feels like my village.
It is your village, it's just destroyed probably. I hope she at least wasn't monetizing those Nazi for fan arts. Yeah, then Hades was gonna get involved, or Pluto. Because he was the wealth god. Yeah, Hades had all the money. Because he got all the stuff under the earth. Which was all the gold and silver and platinum and all the shiny metals and crystals. Hades was freaking rich, man. Well, Pluto was technically, because when Hades got Romanized, he got merged with a wealth god Pluton, which was the whole thing. So Pluto was more associated with wealth and money and shit. Hades was just, you know, the king of the dead, which all living things eventually become. So he was essentially, there was like one in the hymn to Demeter. There was a whole bit actually about how like Persephone actually got like kind of the best husband in the world because Hades' realm is by far the largest because he will encompass all things that will ever live because all things that live will die and so all will become his subjects eventually. And there was this whole spiel about it, and Demeter was just like, no, mine.
It's unlike any architecture I've seen.
I want to coddle Demeter for the rest. I want to coddle Persephone for the rest of eternity, and I'm gonna sulk until you give her back.
Who exactly built it?
Ugh.
And what happened to their
Oh, man.
civilization if we were capable of something like this? And if the
Keepers live out here.
who are
Well,
they?
they.
Your cheeks are red. You cold?
Hmm.
I'm fine.
What's with all the floating rubble?
What's that?
Uh-oh. That's a monster. Uh-oh. Is that a centipede or a snake? I can't tell. It's either a centipede or a snake, and I don't like it. Okay, that's really freaking cool. That is a really cool looking design, actually.
Is it wiser to use a needle to fight, or to hide it in a haystack?
Don't be
Haystack.
Then follow me.
don't be cryptic. It's not funny. Very aggressive venom. Man, Monster Hunter has some like wicked
My
designs.
quiet sanctuary. I come here when I'm in need of solitude.
I can't believe there was a whole nest.
Oh man.
We'll just have to wait out the danger in here.
Okay. Sure.
we set up camp then.
Your small hovel? Certainly.
Our small hovel. Talking down to us in this cold little cave.
It's so warm.
Oh man. Let's go. I still look fabulous. I love the quiver's design on this thing. Like look at the freaking like big old urn we got our arrows in. This thing is awesome looking.
You get some rest? Hey, Hunter. Let's say there's
Okay.
this little girl.
Speaking of designs, how is your kanji? I need to practice on Wednesday. I haven't had time. I haven't really been practicing on Monday or Tuesday, so I need to practice. I need to practice on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah. I used to be a lot
But like her. Oh, okay.
A long time ago, I left home.
Hmm.
People who took me in.
Okay.
Seemed larger than life. Then I grew up. And
Ah,
realized that
yes.
Actually, adults can be just as lost
Hmm.
as kids. When I left my village,
Do 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 do.
"Fly far, little
Yeah.
one."
Oh, also I got Invader Zim for the Plex server.
I think they were really saying, "It's your turn now. What do you choose?"
And I also got Dan Versus. If you've never watched Dan Versus, it's a really good show. Highly recommend. Worst enemy told me once, "You're so cool," and I'm burning. I burning with vengeance. Responded to him, "No, you are cool. Coolest person in the universe. You.
Everything okay?
Why is that an insult? I don't understand.
Rove is far from home, just like me.
You will.
Um,
It's okay.
Okay.
I thought finding my village.
Look, I don't really care much about the child. I just care about going to slay monsters. I honestly... It's weird. I don't really care. I love doing verses. Dawnseeker, a man of culture.
I can't even show you the way.
Nata, in 1,000 years, there's only been one person resilient enough to make the trek west. Despite being alone, you found help. We'll set out again once
All right.
the bombing retreat.
But now let's get some rest. Dan is the ultimate conspiracist and the ultimate vengeful guy. It also helps that, like, a lot of his stuff ends up being kind of true in a weird way. Like, not always literally, although sometimes yes, literally. But, like, it is funny.
There was a time when I closed myself off from the world.
This is a joke, but when you're trying to insult someone, but you're saying that someone is cool instead.
Having lost everything he knew,
Oh.
he was still captivated by the world.
Never forget the dentist episode. For me, the one that sticks out the most is the Dan versus Dan, where he had the identity theft, and he turns it on him by being like, "Oh, I'm so toxic that I can just get myself arrested."
I had a good feeling.
I hope I can live up to
He literally just ends up getting the guy arrested by forgetting to remind him about an appointment. That was the reason why he was gone when the fake Dan came in. Literally, Dan has so many crimes going on that just, like, while he was stealing his identity, he set up a court hearing date that eventually led to him getting imprisoned because he didn't show up. Which is just hilarious.
I think the land spine is an artificial structure, like this one. Probably built by an ancient civilization.
Ah, yes, an ancient civilization. There always are those.
Then we know three things. First, Wolfstone is produced by the land spine. Second, the land spine is... And third, the land spine is likely connected to phenomena like the
Sand tide and the
tide all up.
downpour.
Wolf seems to be an
Oh my god, so are we getting ancient lost civilization with advanced technology that seems to be natural phenomena and or magic? Oh my god, this has never been done before.
Yeah.
We can't just sit around. Let's get back to Azu's. Right. I hope they hear about
Bami have retreated. I want to go kill a Hirabami. Dan versus New Mexico was good. I found out about Dan versus because my little pony crossover with Flufflepuff. Wait, what?
Oh, no.
Really?
them here. But if they hear a Bami attack,
God damn it, the kid is always the dead weight. Permission to go hunt the Hirabami.
understood. Authorization granted to hunt the Hirabami.
Yay! Time to go kill flying centipedes. Time to go kill flying ice centipedes. I love how this entire game is just, I want an excuse to go kill monsters. It's like, fine, we begrudgingly grant you authorization. It's like, yay! And I'm just like my answer, my solution to every problem is to go hunt a monster.
We need to separate.
Large ducktop, force timber.
All right. Okay. Dan went to Wild Blast Tourist Trap, was not impressed, and they did not give him a refund. Oh man. Or when he went up against like the not Apple company. Gods. Alright, these things are actually kind of a little hard to fight. Why are there 3 of them? Dear gods. Okay, duck. And let's try the slingshot thing. Okay, piercing shot. That'll work. Okay. Dispersing groups. Large dung pod. Oh, it's telling me... It keeps telling me to use a large dung pod. I'm like, nah. Don't feel like it. Alright, alright. I will check this freaking supply item. Dear gods. Yeah, I don't seem to have one of those on me at the moment, so... Oh well. Yeah. Also, I found out about Doctor Who because background character LLP had a hourglass cutie mark. Oh wow. I mean, I had just like known of Doctor Who as a thing, as a fandom that existed before I actually saw any of the show. And I was the kind of kid who like went looking for new stuff to watch constantly. So that's how I found about it. It just came across it on my lists online. You know, on the many very legitimate, I swear, sites that I went to as a kid. In the end, Dan was so entertained he let the actors keep his money. I mean, that's like a big deal for Dan. Remember that other time he like literally worked for a demon and was like fine with it? He was like, oh, it's actually not bad. I kind of like it, actually. Alright, let's actually try, like, using that item they were talking about. If I can find it. Large dung pod. Switch. Okay, so I think I have to, like, L1... Here. Alright, there, I think we got him. Ooh.
Leave this to me. Deals inbound.
Okay. Whoa. Ah. He robbed a bank for $3. Yeah, it was the principle of the thing. Or so he says. Okay. So that's the hero bombing I have to follow, I guess. Pierce coating. Fire! Yeah! Alright. Oof. Look at that go. Alright, now we just need to get that... Oh, come on, stop getting so close. Ow! Staying so close to me. Can't aim with it this close. Also, I really should have had a meal before I came to do this. Shoot its head! Bam! Fire!
I think we can use it in combat.
Alright. Hit it again! Oh. Could be anything with principle. It was only $3. Couldn't be anything else. That's fair. Alright. And now I've got in like a loop of pain and suffering. Oh. Come on. Gotta kill him. Oh my god, my stamina is so freaking low. Ah, there's the other ones. No! Fire! Got him! Oh no, shoot, shoot, shoot! Get away, get away, get away, get away! Also, Chris is practically a saint and a total pushover. I'm about to say, it's like, you gotta remember he's also a total pushover, too. It's a very important part of Chris's character, and also the only reason why he and Dan are friends. Oh shoot. Ow. Yeah, I really need to eat a meal before I try and do this again.
Leave this to me. Heels inbound.
Okay, come on. Holy shit, I'm actually not dead. God damn. Alright, alright. Check supply items, fine. Oof. Alright, I need to get this item. Kill you idiots. God damn it, no! I'm trying to pick up the item they dropped. They dropped one of their materials and I want it badly. There, tail claws. Alright. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Where is it? Disperse! Heal! Who doesn't love Mr. Mumble? Also, who doesn't love Mr. Mumbles? I mean, Mr. Mumbles is just a cat. Also, Mr. Mumbles doesn't love Dan. He betrays him constantly. Mr. Mumbles jumped ship for an imposter. To be fair, everyone but Elise also jumped ship for an imposter, which is not who you'd think would stand by Dan, but... hey, take what you can get, right? I also love it when Elise actually ends up having to work with Dan. Like, every once in a while, not often, but every once in a while, she's vaguely impressed by his ruthlessness. Which makes sense, because she's a covert operative. You know, she can kind of respect that one part of Dan. When it's not aimed at Chris. When it's aimed at Chris, she doesn't like it, but anyone else.
Looks like it's moving to a new area.
Oh, man. Any cat that can turn the cold stone that is Dan's heart into flesh is incredible. That is fair, I guess. So for some reason, she's one of the few things Dan legitimately cares about. And not in a, I will burn the world just because it's something that annoys me kind of way, but in a, oh, I actually love and want to protect this kind of way. Dan is me for real. My god, I really should have eaten a meal before coming to do this. God damn it, no! Use the trap. Right back over here to the trap. Come on, little buddy. Get over here in the trap. Get over here in the trap. Alright, it's weakened. Fire the arrows! Yes! Look at all those numbers. So many numbers. Come on, come at me, Bo. Come on. Come on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You complete another asshole. This thing will just not stay in one place, will it? Dude, will you die already? I've shot like 100 arrows into you already. Seriously, I think I actually have refilled the piercing coating over 10 times. So I think I actually have shot 100 arrows into it. And he just refuses to die. Alright. Oh my god. No, not two of them again. Not two of them again. The numbers, Mason. Don't you hate it when they run for food? I hate it when they keep running in general. And now it's teaming up with its other friends. Oh my god, now it's running away again! Again. Ugh. Come on. I just want to hunt you. Stop running, you asshole. Grab their items, I guess, at least. Rhyme beetle. Oh joy, it's roaring. Okay, come on. This is ridiculous. And now I'm getting attacked by shrimp ants? I actually don't know what those are. I'm using so many healing potions in this fight. Alright, come on. Come on already. Die. I have shot you more than a reasonable number of times. You need to die already. Don't you hate it when they run for it? Is that a different Monster Hunter game? I know in God Eater they do that and take bullshit shortcuts. You have to go a long way around. That's annoying. At least I have like the piercing shot, so like I'm not like hitting the wrong one constantly, because the shots are at least going through. Alright. Oh my god, I think I finally did it. Oh my god, and they're still... No! They're still attacking me! The other two are still attacking me! This is BS! This is BS! I'm trying to finish this fight, and they're still attacking me! I'm trying to... Oh my god, I can't even harvest the carcass. Because they're gonna be attacking me. This is BS. Are you supposed to kill the other ones too? Oh my. Okay, we're gonna end this before they murder me. Don't worry guys, there are still two of them left and you can see them like floating around me, but everything's fine, I swear. I swear, everything's fine. Don't worry, we're totally clear to leave. That's a lie. One down, two to go. How about one down, no to go?
Rove, we owe you one. Thanks.
Hello, Rove.
We go. If fate wills it, we shall
Meet again. It's a very spiritually enlightened cat man. Oh.
We'll have to keep an eye on him, but Nata seems to be resting better now. That's a relief.
All right. Mission complete. Let's go here? Oh no, we can't talk about the blacksmith stuff yet. Sorry. Aww. Sorry, you're not allowed to get new cool armor until you've done the mandatory boring talking bits. Unless, oh wait, no, we're just waiting for the blacksmith lady to get back to her shop. Come on, do it. Yes, yes. No. Yay! Finally, not as good, Bean. Look, he's a kid. He's a kid escort. Okay. Well, I don't think it's so weird to feel a little annoyed with those. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm. Ooh, a Scylla. Does have lower attack, but it's higher affinity. And it doesn't have elemental. This is water elemental. I kind of like elemental damage. It's nice. This thing has proved like really useful. I really like the way it plays. He's still a good kid. Yeah, he's one of the least annoying kid side characters I've run into in the game. Don't get me wrong. In gaming, I mean. Oh, that's cool. That is a cool looking bow. Look at that. Man, the Hirabami still makes some nice looking shit. Look at that purple. Ooh, it's got a blue interior, like a teal interior. Oh man, that looks awesome. That looks sweet. That's like a proper like war bow. Oh, and the thunder bow. That one is freaking cool looking. Oh man, we might be looking at an upgrade soon. Might be looking at a different weapon, unfortunately. I like my weapon and all, but like, ooh, look at these. They do less damage though, but they have more. They don't have a negative affinity, and they have a different elemental. So, yes, the grinding of materials. Yeah, I only have enough to make like one thing from every, or like one or two objects. So I have to fight the same thing like 3 or 4 times in order to get enough stuff. Also, I can't actually finish the set for some things until I get to them fully. Like. For the Uth Duna, I can only, from that first fight, even when we were playing it, I can only make these 2 pieces of the armor. I can't make the rest. Because there's other ingredients you had to get from another version of it, I think. The armor kind of looks, I'm not really a fan of the way this looks. Nah. I'm not sure I want Sephiroth hair, sorry. I'm not sure, like, I don't really think I'm a Sephiroth hair person. I don't really think I'm a Sephiroth hair guy. Holy shit, those pauldrons! How am I supposed to fire my bow with these? Look at these things, that's just impractical. Then again, I guess impractical might as well be like the tagline for Monster Hunter gear, right? But like, how are you supposed to even move in this? Like, legitimately, I'm asking you an actual question here. How are you supposed to move while wearing this? Thunderbow looks like a Skyrim elf bow on steroids. Yeah, it's a 3-pronged bow now. Oh man. I'm definitely not going to Sephiroth. The Hirabami, sorry, I'm just not doing it. Just not doing this. I'm not going to turn into Sephiroth. I refuse. Also, for reference, okay, that's the heavy armor. This is the light armor, I guess. This is the light armor. Oh my, it's slightly easier to move in. Wait, this is the light armor? No, this is the light armor, right? I think. Yeah, this is the light armor. Is this the light armor? I forget. What's the because I thought leather. No, I guess the orange is the light armor, and this is the heavier armor. Yeah, so the green's the heavy armor, I guess, actually. Okay. Alright. See, this kind of... I guess that does do a heavier one. I'm not really sure there's like heavy armor though. They're just kind of like slightly different. Like the defenses look nearly the same. All the active stats look identical. I guess it's just maybe it's just appearance. Wow, these are some goofy ass outfits. Trademark Capcom with those over the top gears. I know, right? Like this is like over the top. I could try this look. I do love the weird vials of blue pumping liquid all over me. It's a cool look. But I think I'm going to keep what I have at the moment and upgrade my weapon.
What are we making?
Or, I probably should upgrade my armor. I'm just not really sure I like the way these look. Like, I kind of like the flowing cape look, and then the new flowing cape armor is the Sephiroth hair, as we've talked about. I could do this one, but I'm not sure. This just doesn't seem me. Also, yeah, I'm definitely not an open back guy. Definitely not an open back guy. Are these supposed to be like male versus female armors, maybe? Oh, these are male versus female armors. I think. Maybe-ish? I mean, some of them are fairly neutral, but other ones you can... Yeah, this one you can tell. You can kind of tell. You can kind of tell from the breastplate from some of these. Okay, so I guess the greens are like default. Take this belt.
What are we making today?
What are we making? Who knows? I've already made that. I've already made that. I don't have a firestone. I've already made that one, I think. Have I? Forge list. Yeah, I've already made an Arco one. Could make a ray. No, I don't have the wing talons to make that one yet. Unfortunate. Have I made a dragon perforator? Yes, I have. Okay. I haven't made a Scylla's Fist. So I guess we go ahead and make one of these. Although I don't really see anything further down the tree, so this is the end of the tree item here. This thing just looks kind of ridiculous. This is like an anime-ass bow that you use for like one of those... This reminds me of like the Quincy bow, you know, from like Bleach. I'm just going to keep my current stuff for now. It'll do. Alright, let's go do... let's do a little side mission, I guess. Try and get some more parts. First, we should probably find our tent and have a good meal. You know, it's not a Monster Hunter game if you haven't had a good meal yet.
Yes.
I actually want to go into my tent. Where is my tent, then? Let's see, map. Tent. Can I fast travel to it? Yeah. She's blocking the way to my tent. Oh, there it is. Finally. I had to, like, go to the side in order to do it. Alright, we need to eat a meal because we are, like, starving. Look at the cheesy fish cooking. Man, oh man, that looks delicious. You know, I gotta admit, Monster Hunter might be like a nightmare world filled with monsters that can kill you in a single bite. But you gotta admit, if you go there, you're gonna be able to eat some primo food. That is the benefit of living in the Monster Hunter world. Everyone is apparently a master chef. Or has a master chef nearby.
What do you say to some equipment recommendations?
Alright, yeah, let's do a side mission. That'll be it for tonight.
Yes.
Let's see. Let us see. We don't really want more of the Ubami stuff, but I do want to slay one of these two. Let's go ahead and kill the Sandtide. The Ray Dao. So let's go to optional quest, Sultan of the Sand. You can apparently do like co-op with like 4 people, but I'm just like, I'm just gonna kill myself, sorry. Sorry. I can do it myself. It is fine. I will say, Monster Hunter really does capture that vibe of taking down someone actually just enormous monster all on your own. It really does do that justice. Fast travel. None of the monsters and all the good food. Or, hear me out, if you want good food, just go to World of Food Wars. Yeah, but if you're talking about a world you're being reborn into, the bad luck, chances of bad luck that you'll end up in a world that already has murder anyway. If you're being reborn into a world based on human fiction, the chances of you being reborn into a world with, like, murder and mayhem are pretty high, you know, compared to reality. So I would at least like one of the ones with, like, food available, and readily so. Actually, there was this one like series of shorts I kind of enjoy from this guy, and he basically is just like every time he gets asked by his comment section, would you rather go here or Warhammer? And every time he's like, I would rather be literally in any other universe than the Warhammer universe. The Warhammer universe is like worst case scenario, and he has to always explain to them that they're idiots for thinking otherwise. It's like Cyberpunk or Warhammer. Cyberpunk. There are people who get to live happy lives in Cyberpunk. It's just usually not the protagonist. My mom likes them. Quacks last week with a new token. Yeah, they must be nice. I really hope I get to see them sometime soon when we meet up next time. Definitely have to bring that game if you come over to my place. But Quacks of Quedlinburg is a fun game. It's also the ultimate gambler's fallacy game. It's of, can I grab one more tile? Maybe if I just grab one more. Just one more tile. It is literally the game that is the best at that I've played so far, at least. I can't think of another game that has any more gambler's fallacy, just one more roll of the dice kind of thing, you know? Alright, here we go. Yes, got him. Got him. Oh, here he comes. Pierce coating. Do you know there is an ultimate satire on isekai, on OP isekai pro tags? Isn't it like The Eminence in Shadow? I think I've seen clips from it. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've seen clips from it. It's where he basically just makes up a bunch of conspiracy bullshit as like roleplay stuff while he's in the fantasy world, and then it all ends up being actually true. All right. There we go. Knock him down. Uh-oh. Literally busted 3 days out of 9 in the worst way. Ha ha ha. Damn. Alright, Pierce coating. Let's go, go, go. Fire! Hit it! Yes! And charge shot. Oh yeah, the title is My Instant Bets Ability is So Overpowered. I thought that is just another... I didn't think that was a satire. I thought that was just another one. Alright. Got him.
Leave this to me. Heels inbound.
Okay, I guess I don't get to do that charge shot on him again. Damn. Thought that was a good chance to punish. Oof. Fire! Knock him down! Take this, sucker! Oof. No, it's Satire using the most overpowered ability. Which is pull a bunch of white chips at the start with only like 2 colored chips, and the moment you're like, dang, another white chip. Well, only 3 of us, so you can just bust on the next chip. Alright. Yes! I mean, if you want an actual deconstruction of Isekai tropes, you watch ReZero. I really need to catch up on the latest season. I am thankfully caught up on One Piece, so when the next season of that drops, I'll be all good to go.
Looks like it's moving to a new area.
Ah. Spoilers, the MC is the physical manifestation of the concept of the end of all things. Okay. Sure. Look, I'm just so numb to it. I mean, we all know Rimuru is going to become God, and, like, at least I'm following that because I like the weird city building progression. Like, I don't watch things like Slime Reincarnation because they're, you know, because of the isekai elements. I watch them because I enjoy, you know, the characters, or they have some interesting plot hook, or there's a secondary plot going on that's more interesting. Rather risk-taking board games, look for push your luck type games. Okay. Well, I feel like it's also kind of like the Dominion thing, where like I'm not really going to play a lot of deck builders because I have Dominion, and Dominion's already a really fun deck building game. Alright. Fire! Alright, let's go. Basically, you get the concept of he can end the very concept of invincibility, and the concept of space, he can end it. I get it. He can kill anything. That's kind of in the name, isn't it? Like, you told me all you need to know. I don't really need to see a character standing there as everything around him dies to get the premise of the show, I guess. Maybe I'm missing something, but that's all it has to offer. It just doesn't seem to interest me. Like, I've seen so many overpowered characters, it's just like, I'm numb to it. Power scaling just doesn't do it for me anymore. I'm not 13. I mean, Rimuru is probably going to kill God, but like, I mean, that's the thing though, right? Like, anime characters just naturally tend to get to that point. That's the joke, right? You go to a JRPG and they kill God at the end. Like, it's a cliche at this point, how overpowered anime protagonists get.
Leave this to me. Heels inbound.
Got it. The other deck building game I'm searching among is Quest for El Dorado, which is more of a racing game that uses deck building. Okay. Oh, actually, I think I might have played that. Maybe? Is that the one where it's like a real-time game where you're all trying to race out of the temple or whatever? Or to get the artifact or something? And it's got like the CD or the MP3 of like the track for the song for do the real time. I think I might have played that. Not real time. Okay, it's not a real time game. Okay. So I know I played like a real time board game that was like Escape the Temple or something like that, and you're competing against everyone else to try and make it out alive. with the idol or something. It was at the, I think it was at the LAN party at ULL when we were there. You know that big old LAN party we went to that one time with the board games? Oh, he dropped an item. Should probably retrieve that. Hello, mister. Are you here to die? Because I'd like for you to die now. Alright. Fire! Right in the dick. Ooh. That's a bad sportsmanship on my part. Alright. Fire! And in the face. Face shot. Oh my god, he's got a weak point like right where his crotch is. Look at that. Oh, I actually wounded him in the dick. That must hurt. Oh, that must hurt. Ores, machetes, and coins. Use ores and machetes to move across the hex board. Coins to buy better cards. With more ores or / machetes or special powers. Okay. Alright. Okay. Well, we killed a lightning wyvern like twice now. Remember, he's a wyvern. He didn't have 4 legs. But he did have hind legs, so that means he's a wyvern, not a quetzalcoatl. Or, oh god, what's a serpens or something like that? Hey, stop chewing on my journal. You're a good feathered dino. A good feathered dino. First to reach the City of Gold wins. Okay. I do find it funny that El Dorado is one of those things that's literally just something that the Spanish made up because they really, really wanted a City of Gold. They found this tribe that had a ritual where they covered their like leader in gold dust and created a raft with like a bunch of gold ornaments, and he would like bathe off the gold in the lake, and they would sink the gold ornaments to the lake because they didn't have any. It was a barter-based economy, not a currency-based one where gold was like a standard. And so they found a lake full of gold. And it wasn't enough, and so they invented the idea of El Dorado. There had to be another another civilization that literally paved its roads with gold. They also, while they were there, found platinum, which was extremely valuable. The Spanish didn't know what it was; they just thought it was unripe silver. So but people were using it to forge gold and silver. So they dumped the whole lot of their natural supply of platinum into the ocean. You know, the mineral's so rare, the reason they didn't know what it was is because they had literally never encountered it before, outside of a few rare chunks. They dumped some of the rarest mineral on Earth into the ocean because they only wanted their own gold. I learned that little tidbit from OSP, and the way they put it was so great. That channel, seriously, go to Overly Sarcastic. They have so many great things, but the way they put it is like, oh, so the invading conquistadors only considered were so caught up in their own social conventions that they ignored the wondrous new resources in the new world while trying to search for the resources they believed would satisfy them in the old. Oh, and next you're going to tell me the power of friendship was the real... what was it? The real treasure was the friends we made along the way, or something like that. Or we were going to win by the power of friendship, because it's so cliche. Because Spain is literally just a cliche in the colonial era. One Punch Man has a satire on power scaling. Sin Death is a satire on false fast food isekai OP protagonist. Comedy of ultimate power being anticlimax. Okay. Well, anyway, this has been fun. All bringing the gold back did was inflate gold prices, yeah. And meanwhile, they're going to be really pissed in a century or two when they realize how much platinum is worth. Or how much people are willing to pay for platinum. Man. Anyway, I think this is probably the end of the stream. It's about 9:30 and I've got work tomorrow. So, we killed another 2 big old monsters. We replayed another one of the quests. And yeah, we found the ruins of his old village. And something's up and there's floating rubble. And I got ganked by 3 flying centipede things. So, we'll get revenge next time. See you guys then. Bye. Night.